Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm having a lot of fun playing with this Scrappy Boys stamp set that was sent to me. It's really cute, it has some great pieces on it with some really cute sentiments. And what I did was I went ahead and on an 8.5 by 11 stark white cardstock by Simon Hurley, I stamped all these images out. Then I went through with my distress markers and colored them in. And today I wanted to use this cute little apple barrel. So what I'm going to do to create this card is I kind of wanted to get like a hilly type background. And so I found in my stash this gigantic stencil by TCW. I'll have everything for you linked down below in my description box. And I'm like, man, that's perfect. But obviously I have this little card front that I'm going to work on. So I didn't want the entire tree. So I thought what I could do is I could just do a portion of it off over to the side, or you know, pick a portion of this that I liked and go ahead and create my background like that using some stamps. And then also I thought it would be fun to pull in either some paper glaze or paper glitz. Thought that would be so much fun to do with this. And then I'm also going to ink up the background in some pretty fall colors as well. So in order for me to know where I want to ink up my background, I kind of need to figure out where I want my stencil to go. And I think that I like it like that. What do you guys think? I think that that's kind of where I like it. I just want the tree to kind of be a hint there. And it to be more about like that hilly area. So I'm just going to take a pencil and just lightly outline kind of where this is going to go. So it'll help me know where to ink in some of my colors so I can get a loose understanding of where the colors are gonna go. So I know that I want it to be darker down here, and then like a mid-tone here, and then lighter on the top. I'm gonna go over and I'm going to utilize probably, I have fall gold, autumn, and then I have this really pretty paper glitz and marigold, and also in golden rose. So I'm going to use the marigold and then also the autumn one. And I'm going to use the autumn, I think the autumn glitter on top, and then the marigold on the bottom. But before I do that, I want to lay out my color. So I'm just going to remove that for now. Use that kind of where everything's going to go. I can erase these marks just a little bit, I think. I don't think it's going to make that much difference once I start to lay it down. I just need to kind of see where it is. And as I lay out my paper glaze and glitz, it should cover up those marks and camouflage it, so you really won't be able to tell. So on the bottom, I picked out of my stash traffic cone, bee sting, I have an over the moon, I have slippery when wet, and then I also have Grrr. So I think I'm going to do Grrr kind of here on the bottom with bee sting, and then I'm going to move it up to traffic cone and over the moon. I'm going to leave slippery when wet out. So let me start just at the top, and I'm going to just kind of work in this. And again, I'm not so worried that it's going to be a really great coverage, because I am going to be putting that dye, that glitz and glaze over it. So it doesn't like have to be, this doesn't have to be like super super perfect. And I'm even gonna like squirt like a little bit of water on. I definitely want this orange to be more so than the red, I think. So I'm just gonna go back through with my Over the Moon and just work this in. And again, those lines were just for a little bit of a guideline on where things are gonna go, so it kind of makes sense when I get it all laid out. Okay, bee sting is gonna be next. So this one, I'm just gonna go up over here like so. And work it up into that orange down here. Also, I'm gonna do Grrr kind of on the bottom too. I think that'll be the Grrr will be really, really nice over the hilly area, like so. Then I just kind of like to go over everything with the previous color and so on and so forth. So we're gonna go back over this with the traffic cone. Blend it on down through. Just really building it. I like bright colors and things. And then I want to go over the moon. And I'm probably going to hit it all one more time just with the Over the Moon. I love these colors. I think that they blend so nicely. And they just always look so lovely, and they interact with water, which I love. So now we're gonna do the Grrr on this one. And the Grrr is a gorgeous brown. So I'm just doing that down here. Like so. Getting it all in there. It's kind of going to be where my hill is, right? All right, and then I want to go over all of it one more time with my Over the Moon. Like this yellow blends beautifully with everything. If you put it over the bee sting, it'll get like this beautiful burnt warm orange. So it's just going to be a really pretty background. I think I'm pretty happy with that so far. And I just really play with it until I get it to my liking. And I think we're there. All right, so from here, just going to take and get it to interact with some water. And then I'm going to pick up some of that color. Love that. So pretty. Before I put my paper glitz down, I am going to take my heated tool off screen so I don't have to bore you with that and get it nice and dry. That's super important for this, or else the glaze and the glitter may like smear, or it might seep, I should say, under the edges, and it won't be as crisp. So I'm just going to take my heated tool, making sure that I not only heat the front, but I also heat the back, because the water does soak down through the back. I would like to apologize for my dog and my family. They're home right now, so you might hear them in the background. My dog really likes dinner at about this time, and he kind of freaks out. So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Paper Glaze enhancer with the Glitz. And the reason is because I want it to give a nice crisp edge, and I'll show you. This is what it did through one of my stencils without the enhancer. So this just helps give it its shape. And I really like that color. It does mute it down just a little bit, but I think it's really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of my glaze enhancer, mix it together with my Paper Glitz and do the leaves in that. And then I'm just going to do the hill in this, and I'll speed it up so you can see it. All right, so I went ahead and hit this with my Heat It tool, this little guy right here. I did not expect it to dry so quickly, but it did. I really think it's cute, but I want to add a little bit more definition to the hill. So I'm going to use my Grrr again, but this time I'm actually going to smoosh some of it out onto my silicone craft mat here. Take a little bit of water and just take my paintbrush or a paintbrush in and just go ahead and just paint this in to add a little bit more definition. And what's so cool is that glaze acts as a resist, so it's not gonna pick up the color, it's gonna resist it. So I'm gonna be able to lay in some more of this color right down here and just make it look more like a hill. No rhyme, no reason, just kind of following it along here, adding in just some spots like so. And then look at that, look how cool that is. Now I look definitely more like a hill. Such a fun way to use your ink, your dye ink, is to add some water to it and just literally paint in shadows and add more fun stuff. And just keep layering it up and layering it up. Still want some down there. There we go. And voila, look how cool that is. Look how cool that is. Now I just want to put a sentiment on here before I start to layer on my cute little apples. So I'm just going to pop this in here, and I'm definitely going to make sure that I use my magnet for this, and I want to use Autumn Wishes. So I'm just going to pop that on here. I want to put it kind of up there in the between that tree. And hopefully I'm going to go one and done. So I'm going to use Catherine Puller Midnight Ink. Should be able to get this sentiment stamped just once. Voila, that's what I love about our ink. One and done, right? All right, so now is the fun part. Now we're gonna put the whole card together. Went ahead and just put this on a card base that I made out of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of craft paper, scored it down the middle, and so I got 2 card bases out of this. I'm going to use my foam dots or foam circles, I don't let anything go to waste. So I actually will trim these off as well and use them too. So for this little, I just am going to get a kind of an idea of maybe where I want things to go. And then I will start to use my foam dots and get them in good spots. Just gonna play with this a minute. I think I kind of like that down there, and maybe, you know, like I'll just have to play with it for a second. I'm gonna put this on hyper speed for you guys, and you can see how it ends up. And there we go. I decided to put the little apples up in the tree, and I was going to put them kind of scattered on the hillside, but I decided to go in that, take it in kind of like that direction. And then I also used some cute little stickles and twinkle on the apples as well, because, you know, glitter in the tree just isn't enough. If you guys are interested in anything that I used, I do have everything listed for you down below in the description box, so make sure you check that out. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. I love it when you guys interact with me down there and I get to know you better and get to know your thoughts and whatnot. But this is a really fun one. So I have a bunch of other little die cuts that I did. I'm created from this Scrappy Boy stamp set, and I'm going to be putting together some more cards over the next couple of videos. So if you enjoyed this, make sure that you come back and see what I come up with next time. Until next time, you guys, I am Bets Golden. Happy crafting.